Women don't speak in direct declarations when it comes to desire. They communicate in hints, tones, and unspoken invitations. A woman who wants you won't hand you a clear roadmap. She leaves subtle breadcrumbs for you to follow. If you're waiting for her to say, "Take me home tonight," you'll miss the real signals. Instead, she tests the waters with phrases that seem casual but carry deeper meaning. Asterisk, "I don't usually do this." As she leans into your space, asterisk, "Your trouble." With a smirk that lingers a second too long, asterisk, "I feel like I've known you forever, after only meeting you last week." These aren't just words, they're carefully crafted openings, designed to give her an escape route. If you don't respond the right way, her body will tell you what her mouth won't. The way she touches your arm mid-laugh, how her knee brushes against yours under the table, the way she holds eye contact just long enough for you to notice. These are ancient signals hardwired into attraction. Most men miss them because they're too busy listening for explicit permission instead of reading the energy in the room. Women don't want to spell it out, they want to feel like you, or the one who picked up on the vibe and led the way. The key isn't just hearing her words, but interpreting the subtext. When she says, "I never meet guys like you," she's not just giving a compliment, she's opening a door. If you brush it off or respond with something awkward like, "Aw, thanks," the moment fizzles. But if you hold her gaze and let the silence stretch, she feels the shift. Women are drawn to men who don't need everything explained, who can navigate the unspoken currents of attraction without freezing up or overthinking. The difference between just a friend and the one she can't stop thinking about often comes down to who paid attention to what wasn't being said. Attraction doesn't follow logic, it thrives on emotion, tension, and the thrill of the unspoken. When a woman says something like, "This feels dangerous," she's not asking you to back off. She's telling you she's on the edge of surrender, caught between what she thinks she should do and what she wants to do. Her rational mind is scrambling for excuses while her body is already responding to yours. This is where most men falter. They hear hesitation and retreat, thinking they're being respectful. But what she truly desires isn't a man who hesitates. She wants one who stays grounded, who doesn't flinch when the energy shifts. Her words often serve as both a test and an invitation. Asterisk, "I shouldn't be telling you this," isn't just a casual remark, it's a sign she's lowering her guard, letting you into parts of herself she usually keeps hidden. Emotional vulnerability precedes physical intimacy, and if you can hold space for her confessions without judgment or overeagerness, she feels safe enough to go further. When she playfully warns, asterisk, "Don't make me do something reckless," asterisk, she's not pushing you away, she's begging you to pull her closer. The men who succeed here aren't the ones who plead or negotiate. They're the ones who smile, match her tone, and let the tension build without rushing it. Women need to feel like their desire is inevitable, not something they had to consciously choose. That's why they drop lines like, "I can't believe I'm doing this," or asterisk, "You're a bad influence." It's not guilt, it's the thrill of letting go, of being swept up in something that feels bigger than logic. Your job isn't to convince her, but to create an atmosphere where she can convince herself. When she senses you're not just chasing an outcome but fully present in the moment, that's when resistance melts into something far more electric. The most powerful signals women give are often disguised as casual remarks, throwaway lines most men dismiss as meaningless chatter. But beneath the surface, these phrases reveal everything. When she says asterisk, "What are we even doing right now?" with a playful smirk, she's not asking for an explanation. She's inviting you to take the lead, to steer the moment toward something more. It's a test of your confidence. Will you retreat into awkward justification or match her energy with calm assurance? The men who freeze up here, who try to logically explain the situation instantly kill the spark. The ones who understand simply hold her gaze and let the silence speak volumes. Late-night texts that seem innocent asterisk, "You up?" or asterisk, "What are you doing?" are never just conversation. They're last-minute invitations, her way of testing the waters to see if you're available ... in every sense of the word. Most men respond with boring logistics, just watching TV, instead of recognizing the opportunity. The difference between a forgettable exchange and an unforgettable night often comes down to who can read between the lines. When she teases asterisk, "You're probably a heartbreaker, huh?" She's not accusing you, she's revealing her own growing attraction while seeking reassurance you're not like the others. Your response here is critical, too defensive, and you seem insecure, too cocky and you appear arrogant. The perfect balance? A knowing smile that says you understand exactly what she's really asking. Physical touch is where the unspoken conversation becomes undeniable. The accidental brush of her hand against yours. The way she adjusts her position to sit closer, the oops when her knee touches yours. These aren't mistakes. They're carefully calculated tests of your receptiveness. Women will push boundaries, inch by inch, watching how you respond at each step. Pull away out of nervousness and the moment evaporates. Lean in too aggressively and you seem desperate, but match her energy with quiet confidence. That's when the real magic happens. The key isn't just noticing these signals. It's having the presence of mind to respond without overthinking, to let the dance unfold naturally. Because when a woman feels understood at this level, when she knows you're tracking with her every move without needing everything spelled out, that's when walls come down and real connection begins. The deepest seduction happens in the silent spaces between words, those charged moments where tension builds and everything unspoken hangs thick in the air. When she lowers her voice and says asterisk, "I shouldn't be feeling this way about you ... she's not pushing you away. She's revealing how powerfully she's already drawn to you. This is where most men panic, either rushing to fill the silence with nervous chatter or retreating into safe, platonic territory. But the man who understands simply lets the moment breathe, allowing her to sit with that vulnerable admission. Her body language will tell you everything. If she stays close, if her breathing changes, if her eyes search yours for understanding, these are the signs she's ready to surrender to the pull between you. Women crave emotional safety to explore physical desire, which is why phrases like, "I don't normally open up like this," or "There's something different about you," are such critical turning points. She's not just making conversation, she's giving you the keys to her trust. The worst thing you can do is immediately sexualize the moment or overplay your hand. Instead, meet her vulnerability with steady presence. A knowing look, a subtle shift closer, letting your calm confidence say what words can't. When a woman feels truly seen and understood at this level, when she senses you're not just chasing an outcome but fully present with her in the moment, that's when resistance turns to anticipation. The art isn't in pushing forward, but in creating the space where she willingly lets go. The final surrender always happens in the unspoken. When she stops testing, stops teasing, and simply lets herself feel, that's when you'll notice her body speaking the language of pure desire. The way she unconsciously mirrors your movements, how her breathing syncs with yours, that moment when her playful resistance melts into quiet anticipation. She might say asterisk, "I don't know why I trust you so much ... as her fingers trace the edge of your glass, or offer a vulnerable asterisk, "What are you doing to me?" Asterisk with half-lidded eyes. These aren't questions needing answers. They're the sound of her last defenses coming down. Most men ruin this crucial moment by rushing, by trying to force what should flow naturally. The secret lies in patience, in letting her cross that final threshold herself. When she whispers asterisk, I've never felt this way before. Asterisk, whether it's true or not, she's giving you the gift of her surrender. This is when you match her vulnerability with strength, not by pushing forward, but by holding the space with quiet certainty. The brush of your thumb across her wrist, the way your gaze drops to her lips, then back to her eyes. These wordless communications build the bridge she chooses to cross. Because when a woman feels not just desired but understood, when she knows you can handle all she's offering without making it cheap or trivial, that's when she gives herself completely. And remember the moment long after the night ends,